Post-match interview here at the Erie following tonight's 1-1 draw with North Leigh. Skip, I've already said today probably best to not do pre-match talks because it generally doesn't tend to work out as we expected. Obviously a difficult night in the fact that we probably weren't at our best, but you should always take the positives from the fact that we did get something from the game.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, the game, we're missing one or two key players, but I actually said at the end there, come Saturday, not interested who's not there. We need to focus on who is there. They're good enough to win the games of football, but at the moment, week in, week out, I think, as Dave mentioned at the with the players at the end, we don't start until we go a goal behind. And we're coming up against sides. I mean, North Leigh today, to be fair to them, they've defended. They were throwing themselves in front of the ball. They were blocking it on the line. They were defending it with everything. And if you're going to give these teams a goal head start, then you're not going to win many games. I think over the course, in the 4 or 5 years we've been at this level, you might prove me wrong, but we haven't won many games when we go a goal behind, and we don't lose many goals when we score first. It's such a tough league. So disappointing with the first half, disappointing with how we played. Second half, you've got to give the lads credits because they never gave up. We were throwing men forward. We were leaving ourselves a little bit exposed at the back, but we coped. I don't think they really had a clear-cut opportunity in the second half, and it was just a matter of can we score, and if we do score, do we give ourselves enough time to go and win it? But we did score in, I don't know, 94th minute. So positives are we didn't lose. Positives are we've got another point. But yeah, there's a few things that we need to work on at the moment, and I think probably the hardest thing that Dave and James will probably agree. I'm trying to think now, 3 or 4 players there today that weren't with us in pre-season, so you don't get that opportunity to play how we'd like to play, and you can take them off and discuss it in a friendly manner because it's only a friendly, win some, lose some friendlies. We're trying to pick up league points here, so I think that's the hardest thing we're finding at the moment. We're playing lads who had no pre-season with us. There's a lad on the bench today that's here for the first time. There's another lad who's trained with us a couple of times. There's another lad here who literally turned up for the first time on Saturday and played okay when he come on. But they're not playing how we would like to play, and that's probably the toughest part of where we are at the moment.
Dave, as Skip's just sort of said, we had maybe a lack of experience in terms of personnel on the bench today, but obviously Raf has come off the bench and won the penalty, and Alex did okay when he came on as well. So do you think the substitutions today have maybe played a part in us rescuing a point when it looked like it was going to be a defeat?
They both played their part. I thought Alex was decent. He just showed a bit of composure more than anything, if I want to, and kept it nice and simple. Raf got at them and started running directly at them. They struggled with that, and in the end it was him that was dragged to the floor. So yeah, they've made a difference. But you're also right. We've got a lot of inexperience with us at the moment in time. The other subs were Morgan from the reserves, a young Prince that we brought along, but was unable to get him on. It's just, listen, I'm not going to make excuses. I expected to win the game, as I said early on, and they've had one shot in 90 minutes. And
I mean, that was, as I say, a few people said as we were sort of closing up outside. They'll go away feeling unlucky, but I didn't think, being totally honest, I didn't think we were very good tonight, but I still felt we were better than them. I think they've had probably one shot. I don't think Charlie's had an awful great deal to do, but it was just a bit frustrating because we had lots and lots of the ball, but I just felt we let ourselves down in the final third with just that final ball.
First half I thought was awful. We went too long, too often. No one showed any composure. We needed someone to get on the ball and keep it simple, and they didn't, and players that can keep it simple didn't, and it was awful. And we come in at half time, and I actually, just before they scored, I'd actually genuinely in my head thought, well, the only positive from the first half is we've gone in with a naught, and they go and score. Second half, I think we absolutely dominated the whole half. times they had the whole every other shirt was behind the ball from lots of times, most of the time, and on the odd sporadic attempt to break out, and they didn't. We put plenty of balls in the box. I think they cleared one off the line. The goalkeeper made an unbelievable save from Alex, and we just haven't had the desire to prod one across the line at times, and the heading wise, balls are in the box. Previously, I'd say to you as a club, we've scored loads of headers. But
I felt like we did put some good crosses into the box tonight, and we just never really looked like getting on the end of it, or we didn't make the right connections with it. Again, we had lots and lots of the ball, but I don't think we created lots and lots of chances. So, as I say, that was a slightly frustrating element about the performance.
Yeah, like I say, I agree. Plenty. I think Pat got on the end of 2 or 3, but never directed them on target. In the first half, I think Randy did the same. But yeah, listen, it was slow at times. First half was very slow and clumsy. Second half started off like that. Listen, if we'd have put as much pace into it as Skip with his driving and do this speed awareness course today, we'd have probably opened them up a little bit quicker, wouldn't we? But it's one of those. Apparently, it's his 4th speed awareness course as well, by the way. So he is quite quick most of the time. But honestly,
great turn of pace.
Yeah, he has got a great turn of pace. But yeah, look, he. So I have to get it in. But listen, it wasn't good enough. Second half we dominated. That we more than deserved a point. We still deserved to win it. We had enough to win it. We lack an Alex Marsh, we lack a Daniel Bond, we lack a Lee Northfield, we lack a Rio. You can name loads of, we've counted tonight, didn't we? 9 players missing at the moment. I don't know, we'll normally sit here and bemoan our luck and things like that, but we desperately need to get some boys back, and it's hurting us at this present stage because there's games and situations going to begging where I think we would have picked up plenty of points, but we look like we're fairly safe at this present stage. I think there's a big enough gap between us and the teams below us, and we need to get a few boys back and get a few games over the line.
James, as we spoke sort of before we came on about the points situation, where we're going through a difficult spell at the moment, but as Dave just said, we've got a lot of players out, and the key is just trying to keep ticking the points over. I think if we've all got aspirations to be higher in the table than what we have, but the target every season is to get 40 points and sort of kick on from there. And at this current moment in time, with the number of games that we've played, we're in front in terms of that points total. So it's not all doom and gloom, is it? It's, as I say, we're going through a tricky spell at the minute where we have got some really important players for us out, but we're not getting thumped by anybody, and we're in games, but it's just slightly frustrating because we have got high standards and we want to be kicking up the table.
Yeah, like we just said off camera, really, isn't it? You've got a situation where I think the last couple of seasons we've been in a similar sort of position, really, in the sense that we had a lot of injuries to key players that would normally get your goals, or get your clean sheets and contribute to those areas of the game that we're just lacking a little bit. So without wanting to make excuses, that's not really what we do. Just being honest about the scenario, I think we're probably exactly where we're expected to be. Because if you look and compare the seasons where we have had 6, 7, 8 players missing, for not just a player missing here or there for a couple of weeks or a couple of games, but solidly for a number of weeks, I think, like we just said off camera, we are pretty much where we probably expect to be. The disappointing thing is that, as we do have those high standards, we are expecting to get results against certain teams based on league position maybe, but we also know that doesn't always go the way it plans either, because as Skip always sort of alludes to, we kind of raise our game against those that are in the sort of top half, if you like. There's a lot of the season to go still, but yeah, I think as we've already mentioned, we kind of are where we're expected to be. But doesn't mean it's any less frustrating, but there are a lot of players missing at this moment in time, and the key point to this, which you've just said and the guys have just said, is that we are still picking up the points, we're still grinding away, the boys are still putting as much effort as they can into it, and we're asking a lot of certain players that haven't played a lot of minutes to then play lots of minutes, 2 games in 3 days, etc. and we sometimes can forget that as well in the heat of the game. So yeah, I think certainly not all doom and gloom, and what we've got over half the season left. So yeah, absolutely not the end of the world at all.
Absolutely, still a long way to go, gents. We're back here on Saturday at home to Northwood before a short trip to Barton on Boxing Day. So another point on the board, and we look forward to hopefully getting back to winning ways at the weekend.
Thanks, Lee.
Thanks, Lee.